Good morning, everybody. Today is January 26, 2024. Right now, the time is 8:14 a.m. The market's going to open in about 16 minutes. Got the Nasdaq futures contract up here. Wanted to go over a couple fundamentals before we got into the charts. We had some inflation numbers come out this morning at 7:30 a.m., which is about 45 minutes ago for me. I'll show you the CNBC headline, and then we'll actually take a look at the numbers. Fed's favorite inflation gauge rose 0.2% in December and was up almost 3% from a year ago. That makes it sound like inflation was coming up. And as I'm looking at the numbers, though, I was like, oh, gosh, that's going to be bad for the markets. Read the whole article here, but just looking at that headline, I was like, gosh, that's going to be bad for the markets. And then I actually came in and took a look at the numbers. And we can see that the expenditures price index actually came in lower than what was expected and lower than previous. So I'm curious kind of to know where that headline's coming from. You can see this printed red. This is a Forex website. I just use this Forex website to get economic data. And when inflation comes in lower than expected, this is actually negative for the US dollar. It just means that you can't loan the dollar for as much money as you used to. So the value of it's less if the interest rates are going down, which is directly correlated with prices, right? Inflation and interest rates and all. I'm not going to go into the economics lesson of it because I probably don't know it that well, and somebody could have probably explained it better. But as we saw this, as looking at this number here, this actually isn't bad, or as bad as this headline, I should say, as bad as this headline is suggesting. So it'll be interesting to see what the price does today. That being said, I did end up just taking a short here pre-market, sat down, got everything fired up, and I saw this really nice opening here on the 1 minute and the 5 minute, and just took a quick short there on that. Probably should have held it down. To my take profit on it was 52. And I got out as this candle was kind of stuttering, and I thought, just get out. Typically do not trade pre-market if you've watched before, but on something, a fundamental news catalyst like anything that has to do with inflation, price is probably going to give you a pretty clean setup. So anyways, we took that trade there real quick. You can see the P&L down there, still doing this take profit trader evaluation, chugging away, chipping away at it. I had a pretty good day yesterday with $700. See what happens today. Hope I find a good setup. Yeah, so let's take a look at the let's take a look at the charts now. All right, let's throw up this daily chart. Let's see what we got. We're having a bit of a pullback here, I guess. Yesterday, the other part of fundamental news, sorry, I totally forgot this. Intel reported earnings after market close yesterday. And if you were looking at any of the stocks, like the Mag 7 stocks, you notice that a lot of them fell in value after hours yesterday. God, I can't get words out. We'll look at CNBC again. Intel stock sinks 10% in pre-market trading. His early 2024 outlook comes up short. This drove down some, like Nvidia dropped. The other big tech semis dropped yesterday, and I was like, man, what is going on? And Intel dragged those guys down. It's actually probably a pretty good opportunity to pick up some more shares if you're bullish on them. But that being said, I think if you looked at the Nasdaq yesterday after market close and you saw it pull back a little bit, I think that's why. Now, are these inflation numbers going to kind of give some more fuel to that fire? I don't know. I'm not convinced. Like, again, I'm not an economist, but I'm looking at it and I'm like, aren't that bad for the indices and for interest rate cut projections. So I don't know. But again, let's take a look at the daily. I wanted everybody to just keep in mind this nice big bullish up channel that we are currently in. Going up, and so we are in a bull market at the moment. The only thing I could say is that we could be possibly overextended at the top of this move here. We may want to get a pullback down into this area. somewhere at some point. I mean, eventually it is going to pull back. It never goes completely straight up. You can see kind of over here what it might do, what it might want to do. And if, you're more of a swing trader, you just look for that bearish structure to the downside, get that trend line, and then wait for that trend line break to the upside. You can see it, how that played out. That example I just pointed out, how it played out over here. Get that pullback, this descending trend line breaks, 20 SMA still holds, and you can try to get on the gravy train that way. We can take a look at a weekly, which is just going to give us the same picture. We'll pull back on the weekly. It's got a little bit more room, in my opinion, to the upside, but again, we're pretty overextended. Let's look at the 4 hour. We talked about this up channel on the 4 hour yesterday, which you can see here. We got this real big vertical move, and then we've got still trending up. We did break through that. Very bearish candle here. Very bearish next candle. Actually put some hotkeys. There we go. A couple nice bearish candles here. You would think that we want to come down a little bit more. We'll see what it wants to do up here, but maybe we're starting to consolidate a little bit up at these kind of extreme highs, and it may want to come back down again to that 17,200 level, which we marked out over there on the daily. We'll see. We'll see what it wants to do. I don't know. I'm not closing out any long-term positions, but this is a nice bearish look here on the 5 minute, breaking this low bearish candle in the 5 minute. Coming down to a big area of confluence. If we move down to the hourly, you can just see 20 SMA, VWAP, all coming together down here. If we start, I would say this is a pretty big area of support for it. See what it wants to do on the open in 9 minutes. But if we start, moving through all this, I think its next area that's going to want to target is probably down here. There's probably going to be some liquidity down here. There's going to be some bulls that probably have a stop down here and probably a bunch of orders sitting. Remember, price hunts liquidity. We talk about liquidity grabs. And so there might be a liquidity grab down here. You may see it come down here, hit this level, trap some bears, pick up some liquidity as well, and then those bears have to become buyers as we move back up. Ability. You could try to take that short here on the break. I might try to do that. I don't know. Probably might be my first trade setup, and take profit would be somewhere. You could try to front run it, just get out around 76 or so. Or even 503, it's probably going to find a bounce around 17,500 and then down again. Although on the open, you never know. It may just absolutely miss the opportunity. That happened to me a few days ago where I was away from my computer on the open, and my pre-market plan happened the first 3 minutes, and I just missed the trade. So it happens, but whatever. Again, down here at a major area of confluence. See if this thing provides support or not. But we're currently kind of in this bearish channel in the 5 minute and 1 minute, and got that economic data coming out, which CNBC is reading as bearish. I don't know, they're probably smarter than I am with this, that's for sure. So we'll just kind of have to wait to see what happens, but I would be interested in taking a short 29 on to 9 maybe, maybe getting a scalp here in this. Maybe trying to hold it, maybe taking 2 and taking 1 off here. And, I don't like doing the thing where you take two contracts or 4 contracts or whatever, and then take some off and then move the second one to break even. I just feel like if you're putting on the risk, you need to take the full reward. And maybe I'm wrong on that. I know some people implement that strategy. I guess because most of my trades are more like 1-to-1 risk reward ratio, and that's just the way that I am. I know it's not the best, but it's just the way that I am. I really got to let the full trade play out. So I don't know, but I think if you're a better trader than me, and there's a lot of them out there, you short this 2 contracts, take some off at this level of support, and then you would hold one down to 500. But we gotta wait for the market to open, see what happens, and hopefully try to find a good setup. Appreciate you guys being here. If you guys are interested in doing one of these prop firm evaluations, there's 2 coupon codes below. One is for Take Profit Trader, which is what I'm doing. they've got some rules that are more trader friendly, like end of day drawdown. So I don't have this dynamic trailing drawdown during the day. And their withdrawal processes are more more streamlined, I guess. They're more trader friendly, easier. If you're interested in them, go check out their website. And if you want to sign up for one of their evaluations, they've got this promo going on right now. I don't know how long it's going to last, or yeah, I don't know. I don't know how long it's going to last, but it's 40% off, which is not as good as like Apex, which usually has like 80% off. There's an Apex code below as well, which will give you 80% off Apex. But the big thing is once you pass the evaluation, there's no PA fee. So like Apex charges, I think, 160, or Lilu charges like 250. So you don't have to pay that PA performance account setup fee, which is nice with Take Profit Trader. And again, I like some of their rules better. They have a daily loss limit rule, which is like $1,100 for this 50K, but it actually keeps you in the game longer to make sure that you have a daily loss and just take a break for the day and then come back the next day. Yeah. Alrighty, guys, we're gonna let the market open and hopefully we can. Oops, all right, let's see what happens. All right, guys, so it looks like short is probably coming into play. We can see Delta moving lower, coming down to VWAP. I don't want to short it at VWAP at the support area. It's gonna break this and we get some aggressive move. Just see Delta dropping. I think we would probably get a pretty aggressive move. Keep moving. We're hitting the bottom of the band here on the 5-minute. Buying coming in. Should have gotten a better price, but I do think this, the technical pattern on this, I think, play out here. I'm not going to add to it because my drawdown is so shitty. I may need to close out. If we break 54, I'm going to have to just close out. Try again. Get the Delta come. Literally shorted the bottom of this thing, per usual. Well, we didn't get the absolute aggressive move. We got point. Still waiting. This little move. Does it come back and retest view off and push off, bro? Well, the one nice thing about doing these eval accounts is you don't have too much personal investment in it, except for the time, I guess. And I would like to make a nice little trading video. I don't know. I just got in a really bad. I still think this thing's going to start trending lower. It's just, I should have gotten in a better. Bit of an eager beaver this morning again. This thing's coming up. Man, I watch back some of these videos sometimes of me. Geez, I'm really kind of a naysayer. Popping. Working my cost average. Still think. Oh, yeah. Horrible price. But as soon as I close out, you know what it's going to do? It's going to just absolutely tank. So I'm going to hold this thing. I've got $1,200 to draw down because the cool thing about Take Profit Trader is that it's an end of day trailing drawdown. So the profit that I made this morning boosts my loss limit. Actually, that's not true, is it? I can't lose more than 1,100. Yeah, because I haven't lost 1,100. I'm not good at game rules. Probably coming up to 68. Might try to short it. Take one here. $69, $68. we're going to get out these lows. $23. Now I should absolutely tank. And probably it's coming down. Right, coming down to this. Yeah. Well, this would be a good one to review later. Definitely chase price down here. This was a good trade up here, fighting for price. So, buddy, to get a good lesson on how not to trade. This one, not to trade. This one actually isn't bad. I don't mind this one, but the stop, I should have gotten out somewhere here. Broke lower, we break this high, you get out here. I just didn't want to take a loss amount, which is really something that I constantly work. This trade up here is a nice trade. Overextended to the upside. We're in the sell zone of the 5-minute. We kind of came in with a bearish bias, taking that short up here and then getting out down here around these lows. We took one good one or one bad one. Bad. I came. And then let's see if we can find another good back up. Be interested in shortening somewhere up here. It's just ranging right now. So you short it up here, you buy it down. I don't know. Let's just sit on our hands for a minute and see what. Okay, guys, we're back. I took a couple scalps in here. I didn't make any, but I think this thing is going to start falling here. It's tricky to get in a good price. What's happening with it is, we're in this, definitely in kind of this range here in the morning. But you can see the range is drifting lower, right? So we're making lower lows, lower highs. The best way to get in on something like that, you got to fight for price now. But where I'm shorting it here is really bad. Like I know it's going to go down. That's why trading's so hard. Like it's going to go down, but you're getting stopped out on all these moving down, then you're getting stopped out. Moving down, then you're getting stopped out. So having an idea of where this thing wants to go and having conviction in that trade is so important. Lots of times I use these market internals to give me, conviction in the trade. Like a time in sales, stuff like that. And I don't know, this one's kind of tricky today, but I should have held this one. I thought we were going to go on here, but then we came up, added to it a few times, and finally got out for not very much money. It was pretty stupid. Not stupid, but it's trade. And I don't want to short the bottom of this thing. I have to jump in. Try to get a pullback. Sometimes what I like to do on these when it's moving down, I like to wait for volume to come in. I like to see if there's a nice big spike in volume. That would kind of signal to me price acceptance. Try to get in on like the low volume node that forms. I'm not seeing the high volume node. Not quite chase it. Still watching it. It's hard. This is hard to trade. It's like, again, same reason. It's going lower. You short it, and then it breaks these little swing highs, comes back up, takes your stop out, whatever, or blow the eval, or you start adding to it, and you're adding to what is a short-term loser, which would be winner, not long term, but when I say long term, I mean like 5 minutes. You know what I mean? Stuff's just hard. I'm 16. Start trying to get in on it and just lick your wounds if you get stopped out. Well, scalp. Oh, stupid. I'm trying to use the bottom of the band here on the 5 minute as my take profit areas. So 16. I need a little more meat on this thing, to be honest. When I watch this video, these videos are really good for me too, just for trade drilling. I mean, that's how I started this whole. But uh, again, I'm not seeing that high volume coming in. Look at that 1 minute candle. I mean, that's just classic bearish price action. You know, break new lows, a little bit of pullback, retracement. Delta's moving lower. Pop up, you make it a V retest up here. That's definitely tricky. Semiconductors are not having a good day today. Hanging Intel. Waiting for the entry. I'm just not seeing high volume coming in. Delta's not that negative. I don't know. You may get that up. Just watching it. See what happens. It's gonna come back up to VWAP. When in doubt, drop some lot. Here. We wick through that 20 SMA over here on the 1 minute. Bearish 500 volume candle. Too much value. Right up to that trend line, which we've had pitches on. You could start looking to build into another short. It's probably overextended to the upside. You can see Williams percent range down here. You know, we're overbought. Next place to short would be up there, value area high. Take profit on it. Great, it's just at 40. It's just a scalp. But you'd be thinking it's going to come back and retest 20 SMA on the 1 minute, plus probably give you another VWAP retest. It was just a scalp trade. Alrighty, this isn't too exciting. Let's you're almost like maybe we're going to break this support level down here, make another run to the downside, but it's kind of, I feel like just pretty choppy today. Let's see if we find something else. All right, guys, watching that 1 minute. Look at that 1 minute close. So bearish. Thinking about trying to get back into another short here. Just watching the price action. Delta, though, is making kind of bullish structure. I don't know. Let's see what happens if I can get filled. I get a decent price. I'm not 100% convinced on this, but that 1 minute, gnarly. Shorted again up at 54, 55. $26 maybe. Here it comes. Gotta target that bottom band here. Fucker. It's just like a double band opening. You can see the band here on the 5 minute. Very bearish candle on the 5 minute. Band opening on the 5 minute, 1 minute. Delta just dropped. You can pop here. I'm not going to short the bottom of this though. It's probably going to pop down to like 12 and then whip back up. That's all it's been doing all morning. Making new lows and then flipping back up. You can see volume coming in. Well, what do we say, guys? Pre-market, we did all that pain, all that work, $500, and we talked about it coming down to 500-ish level. All that chop though down there. Look at it. Jesus Christ. All this choppy action down. That's why trading is so hard. Particularly that's why futures trading is so hard. You know, if we just would have kept that short at what, 28 when we first shorted it, 28 down to let's just say 08 for the sake of math. We take 20 points, $400, I guess. No, plus I made 140 in the pre-market. Just could have taken this short, taking it down. I would have been up like an extra bucks than I am now. Look at this, pullback, this drawdown, all this chopping here. Ugh. Ugly. Ugly. One thing I will say is that it broke out of this little 1 minute down channel, and this was its opportunity really to let bears take control or bulls take control. I just couldn't. So I don't know. Maybe we'll find another trade. Let's see what happens. All right, guys. Thinking about taking a short up here. Already hit the top of the band there on the 1 minute. We're also overextended on Williams percent. Got 55 up there, which is going to be 54, 55. Probably going to add to it. It's going to be the 20 SMA on the 5 minute. Value area high. I think we're going to get some sort of mean reversion out of this thing. Let's see what it wants to do up here. Pretty bullish. The mean reversion trade. I kind of like these where we hit the top of the band on the 1 minute plus some sort of corresponding level on the 5 minute. Price is going to bounce off of it. Delta, though, is pretty aggressive. I like how it wicks through that 20 SMA. These are risky trades. Mean reversion trades are always risky trades. Mean reversion traders have a very high win rate, but when they lose pretty badly. So you got to be careful with doing mean reversions. If you're gonna do a mean reversion, I would say make sure you've got a pretty good idea on the trend for the day, and you're getting in at a really, really good price, right? So I like to use these Bollinger Bands as sometimes entries, like for mean reversions. These have to be entries, and we're gonna, use limit orders to get in on them. And then I also use them for profit target areas and support and resistance, basic stuff. So, I don't know. Let's see if we can find another setup. All right, guys. So I just wanted to show something. I did not take this trade, but I talked before about how we can use high volume nodes to give us confidence that the trend is going to continue. And we saw this right here. The price is now obviously in a bullish pattern here. Price broke higher. We made new session highs right over here. These session highs? Yeah, these were session highs over here. Made new session highs. And as we broke new session highs, we formed this higher volume node and then kind of the low volume node. And you can see how price used that as support. That should give you some confidence that this trend is probably going to continue and that this consolidation is probably an area to take a long on. And we can also see cumulative delta here building, going up. So those are all really bullish signs. If I should have taken it, got it in, tried to get in around 76, 75, and my profit target should have been 94, the top of the band on the 5 minutes. So I should be exiting here. But we can see here, look, price is making another high volume node, low volume node as support. So I don't know. This looks very, very bullish at the moment. You could possibly use the top of the band on the 1 minute as your price target, or you could try to get in here on this pullback. I'm not 100% convinced. I'm also a little married to my P&L at the moment, so I don't know if I'm going to take a trade on or not. All right, guys, I think we're going to try to take a stab at this long here. If this LVN wants to hold, and we would take it up there to 13. Take a long. And get a break a new high here. We're using top of the band here on the 1 minute. This trade may take a hot minute, but I think we are going to get that next push up. It may want to come all the way up here to 27. I may add if we get bearish structure and then we get a nice trend line break here. I might add to it. I'm gonna hold on here for a second, see what happens. I'm gonna fast forward the recording because this may take a little bit. All right, guys. So I close out the trade there up near the highs. I don't know. Would it have come up to my take profit? No, but it may still come up. I just feel like it's a little bit overextended. Plus, I'm looking at my P&L up there, and I'm like, I'm good with $1,000 on the day on a Friday. I don't really want to take a loss. I can feel myself not wanting to take a loss. I can feel myself super attached to that P&L. And then if I took a loss, it probably would send me into a trading revenge, trying to get back above 1,000 for whatever reason. So I'm just gonna call it quits. 9:40. I've been training for about an hour and 10 minutes. So pretty good Friday. Happy with that. Anyways, I hope you guys have a great weekend. Hope your day is going well too. If you got any value out of this, or you find this somewhat interesting to watch how somebody trades one of these and just see how I do it, I appreciate a like, a subscribe. I am not a professional trader. You should not copy my trades. I'm some guy who's been trading for, God, about 7 years now. Started with Forex, moved to futures during COVID, and I've stuck with futures since COVID. And getting better, just keep getting better. You need the screen time. You need to put the hours in. You need to be watching price action. You need to really focus on the psychology bit. Learn to take losses. That's my biggest thing. And hold those winners. Also something that I'm really working on. And these prop firm evaluations, while one thing I don't like about prop firm evaluations is that you get really attached to the P&L, which is really bad for actual trading. The risk, I want to say like insurance, the risk, you know what I mean? Like you're only risking what you pay for the evaluation. So I paid $100 for this thing. And so, even if I go full tilt, or I start revenge trading or something, and I still do that. I still do that to this day. I know tons of like real professional traders, who still revenge trade. That's why they have like risk managers at these prop firms, people to come in and say, hey, you just need to stop, and I know right now, you just need to stop. So, these evaluations are a great way to practice. If you guys are interested in it, I do like Take Profit Trader. There's also Apex Trader. There's a coupon below for Apex. I know a lot of people like Apex as well. Take Profit Trader just has some benefits like end of day trailing drawdown, and their withdrawal rules once you get funded are a little more trader friendly. So check out both. If you're interested, it helps support the channel, encourages me to keep doing this thing, and saves you money. Gives me a little bit of money. I don't know. I'd appreciate it. I'm still learning. I'm not a professional. I'm still learning. So I'm still on the journey after all these years. So yeah. Anyways, appreciate you guys watching. Yeah, you guys take care. Hopefully, I will see you back on the channel on Monday. All right, guys. Later.